So a long time ago, when I started in the alarm industry doing electrical work, I worked for a small company called Ace Fire and Security. A friend of mine's dad owned it. We were doing a lot of residential installs, small businesses, nothing really major per se. Did a lot of testing of fire alarms. But every once in a while you had to do troubleshooting. And one of the guys there had showed me a thing called, I ain't going to tell you what the name is called. It's just called, it's called continuity tester to check for wiring. So basically, if you twist the wires together and you hook this meter up to it, it would beep. If you go over and take the wire loose, you come back, the meter would not be beeping. It's loud enough where you could hear it in a house throughout the whole house, pretty much, because usually the panels were either in a closet by the entryway or in a closet somewhere, and you could probably hear it pretty much throughout the house except for maybe in the garage. I made one of these meters a long time ago, and I have no idea where it went. It disappeared from my life a long time ago, probably around the time I started working for ADT. I thought about it recently, and I looked around everywhere, and I could not find it in all my old tool sets or anything that I had from working there. So I decided to remake it. Since I have a 3D printer, I can print with the holes for the parts. A rectangular hole, which, man, that fit beautifully. It doesn't wiggle at all. So I've gathered up the parts. I have the piezo, I have the switch, I have some wire, I have a clip to hold the battery in the back. It's glued into the box already. I have solder. Just grab the soldering gun. I have a soldering gun. Soldering iron, I guess I should say. These glasses are too strong for what I'm doing. They're not strong enough, I should say. I need these. So I'm going to plug this thing in, get it turned on, get it warming up. I have all my components. I have some wire here, and I have a battery. So I have a battery connector. I'm going to start soldering this thing up as soon as I get this thing warmed up. Let me get you down where you can see what we're doing. So what we have here is a box and some terminals. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to sacrifice this little bugger. And I've made my diagram here. So first thing I'm going to do is my battery has to connect to the meter leads that I'm using for the tester. I need to get those through this hole on the top to start with. Last time I made one of these, I had to go to a hobby store and buy a box and then drill out all the holes. So according to my diagram, which is just a sketch I made, I need to take the positive lead, needs to go all the way down to my battery, which is this one. So I need to solder this and this together. I need to strip this out a little more. I think I have some heat shrink around here too. Alright, I found my heat shrink. And I had a torch around here somewhere that I was going to use to shrink it. Alright, I got some heat shrink. I'm going to cut off a couple lengths. I think this will fit. A little tight, but it'll work. Maybe I should go with the other one, smaller. Put it on this one. Alright, so this thing's heating up. No, it isn't, because it doesn't turn on. So I'm going to solder the red wire right here. As soon as it warms up, gotta get it warmed up again because it's not warmed up. test it out, see if it's getting hot. Let that sit for a minute. Leave my sponge over here wet so that it will absorb and not overheat. Come on, get out of there. Alright, let me dry my hand off here. I had a paper towel a minute ago. Alright, nice and clean. That's done. My torch. And we're good and covered now. Okay, so now we got this one's hooked to the battery, which is what we need. We need the negative from the battery to go to the center of this thing. So we're going to solder that onto there. And we got to grab a little solder and put it on. And we have an attachment. So now the next step is we need to have one of the normally closed going up to the pulsed and the other one going up to the steady. So I need a chunk of wire, which we have right here. And I'm going to put a terminal on this one because it's got a screw on there. I have a crimper here. And we got non-insulated, which is for this one. And that's nice and solid. You'd like to hit it with a little solder. Just make sure it stays. So like I said, this one's going to go from the pulsed one, which is this one, down to this top terminal here. And then the other side of it, I'm going to just drag it around here and solder it right there. So we want to have a little bit of slack in case we have to repair it. A little bit of solder on that one. And we want a little solder on the terminal here. Turn this down, it's a little on the warm side. And then take this and we touch it right there. When it cools, it's stuck. Alright, now we need to take the other one and hook it up. Where'd my piece of wire go? There it is. This one, we need to make another terminal. Okay, and that one's pretty good. I want to hit it with a little solder. Let that cool off for a second. going to take this other terminal off. And where to put that? There we go. And we're going to put this one on that side. Okay, now this one goes to the other terminal down here, so it's going to go down to come on, sit on there. Work with me. Here. I'm going to hit this with a little solder. And a little solder on here. And it's stuck. Alright, so I think the only thing left to do... warm. By the way, that's warm. The only thing left to do... warm. The only thing left to do... warm. By the way, that's warm. Now this black lead needs to go down to this one. That completes the circuit. So we need one more of these. We can crimp this one on right there. And hit it with a little solder. And let that one cool. I think we're done with the soldering iron. I turn that off. So now this one hooks up to the positive on the thing. So basically it's going to go positive out through here, out to here, down to here, and then go to the negatives to those. Alright, let me get this one opened. And if I did everything right, and I hook the battery up to it now, and I flip the switch on, we shouldn't have anything. And then if I touch these two together, if I do it the other way, boom, continuity tester. So now, we plug this thing into the clip, and we take this thing, we get all the wires inside. Oh, I gotta tie wrap those. You need to tie wrap this so that it does not pull out. And the tie wrap can just stay in there. So now it'll pull up to that far and it won't go any further. So we take this and we get the wires all inside. Alright, you don't want to be cut off? Fine, we'll be cut off. And then I just got to find 4 screws to screw this thing shut. And I think I have just the screws to do so in my shop. Thought I had one here. I was pretty sure I had one here. Where'd it go? Alright, I'm losing my screws here. Be right back. Gonna go get some screws. Alright. I got the 4 screws. They're a little on the long side. and it's a tamper screw, so I have to find the tamper driver that goes with it. To that one or this one. This one. Those will work, but they're way too long. This thing also has a screw cutter, and this is a 632. You screw it in to the length you want. I don't want these terribly long. Somewhere on the floor is the screw now. Piece that I cut off. And it cut it off. All right, we have it done. Just need a label that says steady and pulsed. And now it's off, won't do anything. Saves the battery as well. So, can't pull them out. Basically, the only thing I want to do now is I want to find a magnet and glue a magnet on the back of this, so when I go up to a electrical panel or whatever, I can just stick it on there. And that's it. So it's basically just a short little electronics video. Simple little meter just for checking circuits. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so you get notified when more videos come out. Thanks for watching.